Today I'm going to share with you one of my very favorite folk tales to tell on the flannel board, the Bossy Gallito. I will be sharing this story today predominantly in English while incorporating and repeating key Spanish words and phrases. If you are bilingual or working with a bilingual community partner, this is a great story to tell completely bilingually as well. There are many versions of this folktale available for your reference. My favorite is the bilingual version, El Gallo de Bodas, the Bossy Gallito by Lucia Gonzalez. The Bossy Gallito is a cumulative story, so in telling it, you can repeat key vocabulary in Spanish and encourage the group to predict what may happen next as the story unfolds. This is El Gallito, the little rooster. Today he is muy bien vestido, very dressed up, because he is going to la boda de su tío Perico, his Uncle Parrot's wedding. But there is something that you should know about this gallito, this little rooster. He is un gallito mandón, a very bossy little rooster. He's always telling others what to do without remembering to say por favor, please, or gracias, thank you. Well, the Bossy Gallito set off through the forest to go to la boda de su tío Perico. But on his way, he came across his very favorite snack lying in the forest. 2 pieces of maíz, delicious golden corn. However, these 2 pieces of maíz were lying next to un charco de lodo, a mud puddle. Thought the Bossy Gallito. Should I eat the maíz or not? If I eat the maíz, I may get lodo all over my pico and then be too dirty to go to la boda de mi tío Perico. What do you think? Should the Bossy Gallito eat the maíz? Well, you may be smarter than our Bossy Gallito because he did decide to eat the maíz all up. And sure enough, he got lodo, mud, all over his pico. Oh no, thought the Bossy Gallito, me ensució el pico. I got my beak all dirty. Now I cannot go to la boda de mi tío Perico. So he looked around the forest for something that he could use. And he saw la hierba, the grass. The patch of grass can help me, thought the Bossy Gallito, and so he ran over. Hierba, clean this lodo from my pico so that I can go to la boda de mi tío Perico. But la hierba did not like being told what to do in this way, and so she looked at the Bossy Gallito and she said, no, no lo limpiaré. I will not clean your pico. ¡Qué sorpresa! This really surprised the Bossy Gallito. He was not used to being told no, so he looked around the forest some more and he saw un chivo, a goat. He ran over to the chivo and he said, Chivo, eat that hierba that will not clean my pico so that I can go to la boda de mi tío Perico. The chivo looked at la hierba and he looked at the Bossy Gallito and he said, no, no la comeré. I will not eat la hierba. Well, now the Bossy Gallito was starting to get angry and he saw un palo, a stick. So he ran over to the stick and he said, Palo, I demand you to hit that chivo who will not eat la hierba, who will not clean my pico, so that I can go to la boda de mi tío Perico. But of course, the palo did not want to hit anyone, so he said, no, no lo pegaré, I will not hit the chivo. Now the Bossy Gallito was getting very angry and quite frustrated, and he looked around the forest and he saw un fuego, a fire. He ran up to the fuego and he said, Fuego, go and burn that palo who will not hit the chivo, who will not eat la hierba, who will not clean my pico, so that I can go to la boda de mi tío Perico. The fuego thought it was very funny watching this Bossy Gallito getting so angry and so frustrated, and so he looked at the Bossy Gallito and he said, No, no lo quemaré, I will not burn the palo. Now the Bossy Gallito was muy furioso, he was furious, and he looked around the forest and he finally saw un chorro de agua, a stream of water. He went over to the chorro de agua and he commanded, Agua, go and put out that fuego, who will not burn the palo, who will not hit el chivo, who will not eat la hierba, who will not clean my pico, so that I can go to la boda de mi tío Perico. And the chorro de agua, just like everyone else, did not like to be commanded around in this way, and so he said, no, no lo apagaré, I will not put out the fuego. Now the Bossy Gallito was exhausted y muy preocupado también. He was very worried too. How was he going to be able to go to la boda de su tío Perico? Just then he looked up into the sky and he saw there el sol, the sun. El Sol was the very good friend of the Bossy Gallito because every morning the Gallito would wake up El Sol con su canción, with his song. So the Bossy Gallito looked into the sky and said, Sol, mi amigo, por favor, me ayudarías? Will you help me, please? Dry up that agua that will not put out the fuego, who will not burn the palo, who will not hit the chivo, who will not eat la hierba, who will not clean my pico so that I can go to la boda de mi tío Perico. And the Sol looked at the Gallito and with a big smile he said, Por supuesto, mi amigo, of course, my friend. Well, just then, the agua was listening and he heard what the Sol said. And he was very worried because he did not want to be dried up. So he called out, I will put out el fuego. Y el fuego lo escuchó y se asustó. The fuego heard this and it scared him too. So he called out, I will burn el palo. And of course, el palo heard this and it scared him. He did not want to be burned up. So he called out, I will hit el chivo. Y el chivo lo escuchó. He heard this and it scared him. He did not want to be hit. So he called out, I will eat la hierba. And la hierba heard this, and of course she did not want to be eaten, so she said, come here, Gallito, I will clean your pico. And she did. She cleaned all the lodo from the pico of the Bossy Gallito, who remembered to say, gracias mi amiga y hierba, and off he went to la boda de su tío Perico.